Great. So this is the past simple or simple past. You know that the simple past tense, also called preterite, is a grammatical form that indicates bygone times. Okay? Clear? Maybe the word preterite is new to you. يعني هي the same. It means يعني past time. Okay? Preterite means يعني past time. Okay? طيب past simple function and use. هلا we have to pay attention about the or for the form. هلا إنه if the verb is regular or irregular, you know that إنه if the verb is regular it takes either D or ED. Even sometimes we change the Y to I and add ED, but we're still following. Irregular, I sent you the list of irregular verbs. يعني irregular verbs are called so because they don't follow a certain rule. You might see 2 or 3 verbs that are somehow similar to each other in the formation of the past, but concerning the regulars, they are يعني either D or ED. Okay? Now, meaning and function with examples. هلا the simple past is used to show an activity that began and ended at a definite time in the past. It can be used with expressions such as in the past, yesterday, last night. You know this, okay? And expressions of time can be either used at the beginning of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. Okay? What about the other uses? Also an activity that took place in the past and continued for some time but then ended. يعني I don't have specific time, but from the sequence of events, okay, in a certain sentence, يعني or from one indicator at the beginning, we know that the other verbs follow. Okay? Like the sentence I remember that you asked, he made an oath or she made an oath that they would, and the other verbs followed. Okay? We can use also the past simple for habitual actions. And I forget to put them slideshow. Yeah. Okay. Even with this, okay. I usually came back with some sort, yeah, it means like in the past. When I was at high school, when honey, most of the time indicates like the conditional if in the past. يعني when I was at high school, I would go, etc. هلا example is not clear. Or we can use it also to هلا الform. Okay. If I want to express habitual actions, more habitual actions, what do we do? هلا هون it's there are هون الconsonants double etc. هلا you know them. طب if I want to express more about habitual actions, what do we do? Okay, with the habitual actions, if I want to express habitual action with the simple past, do you know what we use? Who knows what? And it's clearer than this. If we want to express habitual actions, what do we use? Used to. Okay, used to. Past habitual. Used to is like any verb. مثلا, he used to smoke 2, let's say, packets or 2 cigarette packets. This means that this habit was in the past and doesn't have any relation with the present. Okay? يعني this action is no more done in the present. طب concerning the negative, it's like any other verb. يعني if I want to use the negative, like the other sentences, he didn't use, we say. يعني I cannot consider it as a helping verb. He didn't use to smoke 2 packets. And the questions also, I apply the rule of using did, and it's like a verb. Did he use, smoke, etc. with a question mark only. Okay? Clear?
Yes.
Then sometimes in some sentences, and I did not go through them because you know them. If we have verb to be in the sentence or a model in the sentence, we use it to form the negative. For example, they were absent, let's say, yesterday. Okay, if I want to change it to the negative, I say they weren't absent. If I want to ask were they, because we have verb to be. If we have a model, for example, and I'm not writing them, I'm just writing, for example, he could play, let's say, tennis at a young age. If I want to form the negative, I say we say he couldn't. In the question, could he play, etc. But use is not a helping verb. It's only an expression to indicate past habitual action. Clear? Yani if I want to change into the negative or into the interrogative, I have to put did, because in the past we use did if we don't have verb to be or a model. We put did for the question and didn't in the negative, and use is also in the base form, like any other verb. Yani, explain more. The committee discussed almost all the current healthy the issues. Okay, let's say yesterday. I want to ask a question here. What do? We have to use verb did, right? Because we don't have verb to be. We have neither verb to be or nor a helping or a model. So if I want to ask a question, we say did the committee discuss. لأنه after verb did, we put the verb in the base form, okay? And we put a question mark at the end. In the negative, the committee didn't also discuss. And after did, we put the base form of the verb. And in the simple past, all the subjects become equal. It's not like the present. And in the present, we have do and does. We use do with the plural subjects, okay? Full stop here, of course, at the end. And for the singular, we use does. In the past, in the simple past, all the subjects become equal. And if we don't have, I repeat, if we don't have verb to be or a model, we use did with all the subject, whether singular or plural. Clear? Is it clear? And after did, we put the verb in the base form, regardless of the subject, if it is singular or plural. Clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Past is finished. Let me close the tabs لأنه هلا past continuous, you know, past continuous إنه an action that started in the past. لأنه when I say past, okay, an action that started in the past, finished in the past, but it took or needed some time to finish. Okay? We can also use the indicators of the simple past. هلا form of the past continuous. Okay, look here. Past of verb to be, was or were, in addition to the present participle form of the verb, يعني verb plus ing. Okay? هلا the meaning and function to show an activity that was going on. Look, يعني even from the definitions, was going on at a specific time in the past. It began before that time and it probably continued after. Okay? Yani when we read the examples, the salesman was helping the customer in choosing the outfit for the party. Yani it took the salesman some time and doesn't help and finish directly. It needed some time. it was 8 o'clock. I was writing. نحط بالبلو. Yeah. هلا I will do them later. Also, I was listening to melodious songs last evening. And you can see the form also. It's also used to express an action that was in progress when another action interrupted. Yani we can use in the same sentence, we can use past, progressive, and simple past. Remember, when do we use it? When I have when, after, before, or since, we use simple tense. In the continuous, mostly we use while and as. While and as introduce continuous tenses. يعني whether in the present progressive or present simple. Past progressive or past simple. When we have while or as, they introduce the continuous. When introduces the simple. Okay? Clear?
Okay.
Doctor,
Look at the
what
example.
other keywords other than when introduced simple?
هلا mostly while and as introduce continuous. When introduce we use the simple. Okay? هلا as I said, we have the indicator. Yes.
حتشرحي لنا عن الاف
لل
if I were مثلا if I was
conditionals of course. ما look أنا I honestly I got tired and I wrote them here on notes. If you noticed, I forgot which section. Active passive here, negative sentences.
لأنه في نوت نحن وقت كنا بالمدرسة قالتنا المعلمة إنه مش الكل بيعرفوها إنه وقت يحطوا F بستخدم مع ال I were ما بحط was.
Yes,
فقلت
but
لنا إنه مش الكل
second condition. This
بيعتبروها.
is what I want to explain. This is conditional. You're right. هيدا look at it here. Of course, I will explain them, but this is what I want. هيدا regular verbs you see, and I explained to someone here. وفي ال conditional type 0 minus 0 type. Where's 0 type? Anyway, هلا we'll explain them anyway. فهني ب section here 5. Okay. في other sections وينهم؟ third conditional بس في عندنا ال 1 وال 2. No worries. Oh, here they are, you see?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. طيب, let's continue now here. Okay, I'll give examples. بس نحن صرنا section 10, I think. Okay. Raise them. طيب. For example, هلا we can pay attention. هلا most of the time we can have two actions in the past continuous, two actions that were going on at the same time, like the present progressive command. And we can have two actions that are going on at the same time. Let's say, for example, while I'm explaining, the students are taking notes. Can't I say this? Yes, of course, because these two actions are going on together at the same time. For the continuous command, we can use in the same sentence, it depends on the meaning. It's very important in the continuous and the simple, يعني past, especially past continuous, past simple, to understand the meaning. يعني, for example, while even if sometimes I'll give another, I was chopping the onions, okay, comma, I cut my finger, let's say. Can I say I was cutting my finger logically؟ يعني هون في logic بالsimple past والpast progressive we have to depend on logic. Okay يعني for example, I broke my leg while I was climbing the mountain. Okay, يعني it doesn't mean that because while is at the beginning of the sentence I use continuous. Look, I broke. Can I say I was breaking my leg? So it's continuous يعني ما بقى في leg for example, right? يعني في logic. اوكي مش بس لانه while. هلا مثلا مع non progressive مثلا حتى if I say for example I couldn't understand what he said while he ما في يقول was recognizing, for example, while he recognized, okay, while he recognized well what he was saying, for example. Look, I used while, but because recognize, remember, recognize is one of the non-progressive verbs. I used while, but can I put it in the continuous? No. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
it is used to show two actions happening simultaneously, as we use with the present, يعني continuous. While my mother was, let's say, fixing the dinner and I was teaching my students. Can't I say this? Yes, I can say it. Okay, and I don't have when. Here, when I have when, look, Sammy was waiting for us when we got off the plane. When we have when, simple past, while, as, continuous. Unless, I repeat, unless the verb is non-progressive. Okay? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. And now let's see. بنكفي ال past perfect today and we stop لأنه explaining the past perfect. What's the difference between we passed, but what's the difference between past simple and past perfect? Who can tell? And the present perfect.
add.
هلا الفورم, you're talking about the form, not the use. هلا الفورم, yes, had. All the subjects become equal. Okay? All the subjects become equal. عندنا had in addition to the past participle form of the main verb. يعني I had, he had, she had, they had, etc. يعني I had practiced tennis, for example, when I was young, she had practiced tennis, they had practiced tennis. Okay, they all take had. طيب. What about the use?
إنه هون ended at unspecific time.
Unspecific time. Very good. Excellent. لأنه if they ask me, for example, to use either the simple past or the past perfect, if I have definite time or time mentioned, يعني expression of time in the past, I use simple past. When we don't have specific time, we use the past perfect. If I want to express far past, okay? Clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. هلا look at the examples. هلا they are explained here. لأنه as I said, for actions expressing conditional statements, if I had يعني بالconditionals as we said, okay. وhere كمان dissatisfaction with the past is that if I have wish. هلا we'll explain wish لأنه we can use it with wish. Okay.
Yes.
Guys. Okay. تمام. Let's close it. طيب. To make some change, هلا بعد في we have the future tenses. هلا أنا I'm not tired. If you're tired, we continue tomorrow. طيب أنا I only posted the present tenses I believe on the teams, right? I'll post the other هلا future simple progressive. I'll post them with the exercises. You solve them for tomorrow and we correct them and we go into the conditionals. What about that? Hello.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. بس دكتور ما حدا
أسألك
حكينا
بس
شوي عن vocabulary، مش في part vocabulary بالامتحان؟
هلا الفوكابلري بما انه البريزل فيربس هو one of the vocabulary يعني part of the vocabulary. هلا الفوكابلري depends on your knowledge honestly. يعني هلا if you want to make هلا I'll try to include vocabulary بس انه you cannot depend on it. You have to يعني to depend on your knowledge here. Power knowledge. Okay. يعني if you want to go through vocabulary ما في list of what?
of vocabs.
vocab, no, there's no list for vocabs. لأنه we cannot limit them. هلا الphrasal verbs we can limit. نحن as I said we were discussing if we limit them into we said if we want to use or to put or to include phrasal verbs, we said that one of the committee members has to prepare a list of 20 to 25 phrasal verbs. Okay, but concerning vocabulary, as vocabulary we cannot limit the list. Okay, clear?
دكتور
يس بس
Yes.
تيتشر شفت بعض الأسئلة إنه بيكون اللي هي الكلمة الواحدة عندها كذا معنى، هني بدهم يشوفوا أي معنى من نفس المعنى الكلمة بيزبط عليها، فهيدي مثل
No,
إنه
هني
مهارة
no,
مش
no, no,
الكل
no.
عندهم إياها.
هني near distractors، يعني هني الفور اسمهم distractors، بيكونوا close to each other. هوني confusing. انتوا you think they are. بس ما نحن we have specific uses most of the time for a word. Okay? That's why
Yes.
when we give context clues, we say I will find the word that almost has the same meaning. مش exactly the same meaning. Remember exercises at schools? هلا we do it نحن with level 1 or level 2 when we do place. Almost the same meaning. Okay?
أوكي.
Okay.
دكتور
Any
بس
other
عندي
question?
سؤال.
Yes. Of course.
بالامتحان انتوا بتستعملوا يعني الامريكان سيستم الامريكان ولا البريتش؟ لانه مثلا بالاف والوش بالامريكا بدنا نستعمل له وير، بالبريتش ممكن نستعمل له الاثنين، فانه
لا
نحن شو بنعمل بالامتحان؟
لا we focus on the known، يعني the most common. Look, with language for example مثلا some students let's say or some people use for example you know in writing for example or writing sentence. Let's say we have an exercise of words, use each word or two words etc. in sentence. مثلا some students want to draw the attention of the instructor or their friends in class. They use some strange words, uncommon words. احنا we focus on the common. Common هو is للأمريكان. Okay? يعني بالconditionals where بtype 2. Okay?
Thanks دكتور.
Any other question for today? هلا نحن we meet tomorrow difficult. We meet hopefully on Monday. What?
اوكي دكتور، بنكون هيك نحن رجعنا اصلا هون
أوكي
وتمكنا من
دكتور.